Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you and tell you how to make a baseball cap look vintage. And these will be easy steps, so let's get right into this instructional video. That's right, let's get right into this instructional video. All right, so you want some easy steps to make a baseball cap look vintage. These are those easy steps, and I'll be showing you exactly how to do it. All right, so essentially I'm going to be giving you 4 steps that you can use, and you can use all of them or just one of them or a couple of them in combination with each other, okay? And these will make your baseball cap or your hat like this look vintage, and you just got to use them tastefully. So let's get into this. Number 1 is sandpaper. So that's right, you can literally take a piece of sandpaper just like this. This is a piece of sandpaper. This is a 100 grit over here. You can see it's already, I've used it quite a bit for many other things. I actually just ripped this little piece off of a large sheet of sandpaper. But yeah, essentially, I'm going to try and actually not do it on my cap because it's, you know, it will distress the cap. You're going to take your sandpaper and you're just going to rub it on certain areas. And what that will do is that's going to fray out the fibers and the material, and it'll make it look more vintage. Now, you don't want to do the entire cap because that will probably look weird, but you're going to tastefully do it in certain spots. You can do the entire cap. It might look good. I just think if I was going to do this right now with this cap, I would take it and I would fray off some of the brim. Okay, some of the edge of the brim over here. I would do a little bit on the top and a little bit on the bill over here. Maybe, you know, somewhere along the back. But basically, you want to get the sandpaper and just essentially sand down different parts of the hat, and what that's going to do is that's going to give it a distressed look. So that's number 1, sandpaper. Okay, moving on to number 2. Number 2 is sunlight. Number 2, sunlight. Sunlight is number 2. I said it enough times. Let's move on. Okay, so sunlight, what you want to do is you want to leave your hat in sunlight. Now, if you are wearing your hat in the sun, obviously it's going to get distressed normally because like you're wearing your hat on a sunny day. But if you want to make it look distressed or vintage at a faster rate, literally take that hat, find the sunniest part of your yard or sunniest part where you can leave the hat comfortably and safely, and literally just leave the hat there. And the sunlight will fade. It will fade the hat. And over time, it's going to fade in certain areas more than others. So like depending on which way you place the hat and you face the hat, it might fade the front more than the back, which looks even more vintage and even more distressed. So sunlight is the key. It will naturally get faded through the sunlight as you wear it on a regular basis. But by leaving it in the sunlight, it's just going to really fade it at a faster rate and make it look more vintage and distressed at a faster rate. Moving on to number 3. Number 3 is scissors. So basically, you can use scissors to make your cap look vintage or distressed. In the same way that you use sandpaper to sort of fray off certain areas, you can literally take scissors and you can just cut out certain parts of the material. So you can like take scissors and just cut this part right here. Just cut this part right here, and that's going to open the material. Now, I do want to say this. When you do use scissors to open up and to cut some of the material off, it's going to make it more prone to ripping and tearing. So it will shorten the lifespan of the hat. But if you want it to look vintage and distressed, scissors can be a way to do it. Like if you go and you cut, you cut some of the fibers over here, and then eventually, whenever you wear the hat, it's going to stretch that out, and it will cause the tear to get bigger. So if you are going to use scissors, I do recommend staying away from like the part that stretches and sticking to the part that is hard, which is like the bill of the hat over here. You know, you can cut out some of the material here. You can take some of the fibers out, like of the stitching, you know. But like I said, when you do use scissors to cut some of the material, it is more prone to ripping and to those holes getting bigger over time at a much faster rate. So you will shorten the lifespan of the hat most likely. Anyways, moving on to the last one for this video, which is number 4. Number 4 is coffee or tea. So essentially, you can take coffee or tea and you can stain the hat. That's going to make it look more vintage or distressed. Now, it will make it look a little bit off because if you take coffee, it's going to give it like a brownish stain. If you take tea, it's going to give it a different color stain depending on what color the tea is. You can do this, but like I said, you don't want to make the hat just look dirty. You want to make it look vintage or distressed. So I would not recommend like you take coffee and just spill it all over the hat. Not a good idea, right? And obviously, if you're working with coffee or tea and you're trying to make it look vintage or or distress, I do recommend that the coffee or tea be cold before you put it on the hat. Make sure that the coffee or tea is cold before you put it on the hat, okay? It's just a better way to handle coffee or tea while sort of staining the hat. Handling it when it's cold is the safest and the best way to handle it, but also I believe that it will create a better effect because you're just getting the staining. You're not getting the heat sort of deteriorating at the materials. So if you're working with coffee or tea to stain your hat, make sure it is cold. It is the best way to do it for so many reasons. Now, I do want to say that when you are working with cold coffee or tea, and you're trying to stain the hat, don't try and make it look tasteful. Don't just make it look like the hat just got like a coffee stain or a tea stain on it. Try and make it look tasteful. You can sort of use it, you know, in a way where you can make it look tasteful by sort of smearing it around instead of just making it like drip on there. Okay, but use your imagination, use your judgment, and that's it. That's basically for making your hat or your cap look sort of vintage or distressed. Those are easy steps, and I've shown you and told you exactly how to do it. I got nothing else to say, so we are going to roll this outro. Let's do it. If you like this video tutorial, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.